Wonderful. Thank you for joining us. My name is Christine Aronson. I am a licensed financial professional with My Financial Girlfriend. And this is our presentation called Fat Bottom Lines.
Christine, real quick, I'm going to have Kyle, will you just say that your nonprofit choice, and then we'll have Kyle do an intro for them as well.
That would be wonderful.
Awesome.
We chose the Oregon Food Bank. And there are so many wonderful, wonderful organizations in Oregon, but we thought that in this time, this was a particularly pertinent choice. And so we are really grateful to have Kyle here.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you for picking us and just the opportunity to be here with you all on this lunch meeting. It's a great opportunity just to be able to lift up the food bank and have a chance to kind of connect with you, because there's a very, very strong chance many of you have been supporters of Oregon Food Bank or our network and our partners before in your history too, because we are the country's only statewide food banking network right now. So pretty unique to participate with us and to have the opportunity. And we represent about 1,400 partner agencies across our statewide network that actually dips into the southern part of Washington as well. And during COVID, about 1,300 of those have been able to stay open and operational and have converted to shopping style, or excuse me, from shopping style to more of the food box, car deliveries, things like that. So we've seen a 20 to 70% increase in need for food so far, and we're also planning with the mindset that we're going to be emerging into a recession. So we're trying to do everything with this hashtag of emerge stronger, and anything digital, anything online. We're trying to frame it all with this mindset of emerge stronger, because our goal is no one wants to be going through this. This is absolutely horrible right now, but we will come out of this in a stronger, more powerful position, and we will use this bad opportunity to connect and network and then be able to emerge from this in a much stronger, more powerful spot. So hunger is not a symptom of COVID-19, but also we can then be in a much better position to fight the systemic issues that have caused hunger to perpetuate in our communities for generations. So I will go back on mute because I will talk your ear off all day long. I love what I do, but I'll also put my information in the chat box if anyone would like to reach out. I'm here for you.
That's awesome.
Gosh. Thank you, Kyle, very much. Hey, and before we get going, there's one thing I want to say here. I just want to introduce myself. I'm Joey. I'm from the Hearth Team at Keller Williams Realty Professionals, and Lou and I are available if you or anyone you know are thinking about buying or selling a home. And I just want to thank you all so much for joining us today. And we're excited to present our weekly Lunch and Learn event with Christine Aronson from My Financial Girlfriend. We have a different topic each week, so make sure to like the Hearth Team on Facebook so you can know the upcoming topics. Anyway, without further ado, go ahead, Christine Aronson.
Thank you very much. Again, I'm Christine. I started with Lisa Brum when we opened the doors of My Financial Girlfriend, May 1st of 2017. I met Lisa in 2012 at AXA Advisors, and we were out networking and spreading what we think is our gospel of financial independence. And so this is our presentation, Fat Bottom Line. And this first slide about feeling overwhelmed, we have included this way before the pandemic because I think that money is one of those touchy subjects, and most people feel they're not doing as much as they can. And so I'm going to break the PowerPoint Facebook rule here because I think it's really important to explain our philosophy, and so you're never supposed to read your slides. But on this one, I will. We believe that all income-producing Americans have the right to work with a financial planner with zero out-of-pocket fees. We absolutely foster a shame-free zone with compassion and authentic friendship. We are approachable and accessible in our interaction with all people. Our main strategy is educating our clients about opportunities so that they can reach forward, and that creates tremendous value. We consider ourselves the unicorn. In speaking about financial professionals, when you ask people why they have never worked with a financial professional, if they haven't, or why they're not currently working with one, it usually is not the fees, but it's these feelings of not being of worth that people speak of. And we absolutely want to get rid of all of those negative feelings. We want to help people be in a better place, discover new opportunities, new possibilities. And then we are about not just investments, but finding tips and tricks for the cash that will then lead to investments. So we try to spark your financial curiosity. This is not supposed to be boring. We want you to look forward to a meeting with my financial girlfriend. So the one thing I must admit is we are not currently offering hugs. We miss them terribly, like the rest of you. But normally, non-pandemic, we absolutely are offering hugs. And we do believe that if you have an income, if you have a $50,000 income, and that's just pulling a number out of a hat, you're a millionaire. If you have a $25,000 income, if you're a solo entrepreneur starting with more debt, or if you have more month than money in your month, we still want to work with you. We work with sitting down with people and looking at exactly where they're at today, no shame, and then using education and strategy to find new opportunities and move you into a better place. So when we say get fat, we are a completely women-run organization, and women are always talking about their bodies, but we're talking about fundamentals, understanding the different fundamentals, tax implications, different types of investment strategies long-term that lead you to take action, and then, of course, the tips to get more cash. And we work with people in your budgets. We like to sit down with people and help you find more money. This is an example of a debt matrix. This is an actual client that had a decent amount of debt. And what we did was put together a debt matrix that showed that this was going to be paid off in 16 years. However, we looked at different opportunities and ways that we could do better with that. And even with just the minimum payment, we could chop years off of that debt by doing different strategies and systems. And better yet, if we found some extra money in their current budget, and we did that by looking at ways they were paying things. For this client, we were able to say, well, what if you took your car insurance and your home insurance and went to the same company? That got that particular bill down almost $25 a month. We were able to find, and we're usually able to find almost $300 a month, but for this particular client, adding just $100 to the monthly payment and using our plan paid off that debt in 5 years. How much less interest? A savings of over $18,275. So not only do we want to encourage people who have credit card debt to lose the shame, but please come and learn some strategies and we can help you with all of that. And then we just went past. We were talking about action steps. So I had, in the debt matrix slide, which unfortunately you didn't get to see, there was over $21,000 worth of debt. And what I was explaining was there are strategies just using minimum payments to pay off that debt. There's also strategies if you can add some money. And yes, we look at a client's, we don't sell any, for instance, property and casualty insurance. That's your home, your car. But what I was explaining was by looking at this client's property and casualty and saying, well, perhaps we could combine it, we were able to save right there $25 a month. And then we were able to find other savings, which was then applied to the credit card debt using our strategy and ended up saving over $18,000 in a period of 5 years and getting them out of credit card debt, which is just an immense relief to everyone. So here are some of the things we do. Again, comparing car and home insurance deductibles. We had a client who had money in the bank in savings, but had a $250 deductible and, you know, had never had an accident in her life. And just by raising the deductible, we were able to find some money for her. Then by combining her home and her car insurance, again, find some money. These are all financial strategies that most financial advisors won't work with, and we do, because we believe that your entire financial picture, not just your investments, is important to us and important to you. So we look at all these strategies. These are just some of the little strategies we've come up with. Cable company, I just had a really fun time with Comcast this morning, but I am getting a rebate for some services that were not available to me. Discounted gift cards that you can buy ahead for birthdays, etc., are another good way. Buying off season. I have a whole nother presentation called Diva on a Dime about how to have the wardrobe of Hollywood on a very middle-class budget. Looking at cable and going to Hulu, Netflix, etc. These are all just things. Trade schools. Here in Portland, we have an incredible dental school. Now during the pandemic, if you have friends who don't have dental insurance, there's a dental school at OHSU that can really help. We've got beauty schools in town that do a really good job. That's another wonderful way to save money and have more for you. It's all about having your cake and eating it too. We are not the advisor that tells you don't go to Starbucks. If that's your thing, go to Starbucks, but let's find a way to work it into your budget, and let's make sure that what you're spending things on really is feeding your soul, whatever that is. So we look at finding fundamental strategies. The actions are looking at your assets, your liabilities, putting things together. We absolutely are all about tips to save more cash, debt and savings. And we are interested in helping anyone who wants to sit down with a financial girlfriend. And so fatten your bottom line and get some girlfriend chat time. And so again, we're the unicorn. We are My Financial Girlfriend, and we are happy to speak to anyone who's open to new possibilities in their financial life.
All right. Does anybody have some specific questions for Christine about financial concerns that you've been having personally, or anything that you, ways and tips that you could consolidate debt, etc.? And you're welcome to just go ahead and join the video as well, or you can put it in the chat.
I have a comment I'd like to make. I'm not sure I have a question, but not only are they customers of mine, but I am a customer of My Financial Girlfriend, and I have been for several years. And a couple of years ago, when I first met with Lisa, I had some debt. It was about $10,000 in credit card debt, and I just could not figure out how I was going to erase that debt. But with the help of Lisa and Christine, as of June 1st of this year, I have now 0 credit card debt. In fact, the only debt I have right now is my home. Everything else has been paid off. So their financial strategies work. And they kind of held my hand the whole time I was doing this. I touched in with them when I needed help. But I'm just going to say they are amazing, amazing financial planners, and they have done a great job for me. So I highly recommend them.
Thank you. One of the things I would like to say, there's so many people in Portland that are solopreneurs or entrepreneurs. And when you are a business owner, there are all kinds of wonderful tax implications to that. And many people are not aware of them. And so we try to form a team with your CPA and look at things from a tax perspective and say, okay, we want to look at some investing for Mary, but we also want to look at where can we help her so that more of Mary's money is going to Mary and not to Uncle Sam. We like our firemen to be well paid, our teachers to be well paid, but the fact of the matter is that their tax structure in this country is definitely unequal, and we don't want you to pay a penny more than you need to pay. So we want to work with business owners, especially wherever we can help. And we work with a lot of people who are looking to buy a first home. That's actually often a client of ours. They come in and just say, I want to buy a home and I don't know how I'm going to do it. And, you know, we try to educate them as to, you know, where their funds are available. A lot of people, I can't believe that people still don't know, but if you have a 401k, one of the almost automatic loan provisions is for a first home. And so people can borrow 50% or up to $50,000 and pay it back to themselves with interest, so that you're not even taking it out of the market in a way, because you pay it back. Currently it's about 6.25%, but over 15 years. So if you need that down payment, they can go and use the money within their 401k, pay it back with interest, and help themselves get into a home.
Gosh, that's great to know. I appreciate hearing that about 401k. I wonder, is that, can you do that with an IRA also?
No,
No.
no, you cannot. There are different guidelines for the different, but one of the things that, again, that people don't know is if you're a solo entrepreneur and you have 401ks from past employment, you can roll it into what is called a solo 401k. And now you're in charge of it. You're your own trustee, administrator, and you can allow that loan. And you could also take that IRA and roll it in, if you're a solo entrepreneur, into this 401k. It would all be considered qualified money, and then you could use that money towards that down payment.
Gosh, that's actually great to know, because I had rolled over some cash from past jobs into an IRA, but I didn't realize I could start my own 401k with that. But with the IRA money, you're saying that I can still do a 401k and roll it over.
To be accessible, it would have to be in a 401k form, but anyone who has 1099 income, and let's face it, even if you have a W-2 job, most Oregonians have a side hustle. So if you are collecting 1099 income, you are a solo entrepreneur. Now, when it comes to adding to that 401k, you cannot add more money than you make in your job to your 401k per year. So if you're earning $15,000 a year in your side hustle, that's how much you would be able to add each year to your 401k. But also that's helping with your taxes. So, you know, again, that's what we try to do 5 things with the same dime. So that's my financial girlfriend method. So
that's great. So it sounds like you do also help with retirement planning.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, and life insurance. Everyone, COVID. I believe in life insurance, period, and I didn't allow my husband to even talk about having a baby until we had life insurance. And we made no money at the time, and he kept saying, why do we need life insurance? And I said, we don't make money now. Can you imagine one of us passing away and the other one has a baby and has just lost that salary of that other person? So I'm a firm believer in life insurance to protect those you love. And COVID is absolutely showing that, I mean, anyone could be felled. And so it's a very important piece of your retirement plan, of your life plan, So we deal with all of those things: life insurance, disability, investments for retirement, all of those. But yes,
there are the two different kinds of life insurance. There's, I can't remember what they're called, but the one where you can actually cash it out at the end versus just the monthly that you're not really, unless you die, it's not an investment basically, right?
Permanent and term. There's
Thank you.
more qualifications, but the two basic are either term, which is if you die within the term, it pays a death benefit. And then there's permanent, which is you're paying for the death benefit, but you're also putting more money in that goes into sub accounts, and it hopefully grows.
Sure. And it's a lot more expensive from what I understand.
It is more expensive, but the money is invested. And
Right.
here's a really cool fact about life insurance. So when you go to fill out the FAFSA for college, and you're having to list the home in Manzanita and all these other investment accounts, you do not need to list any permanent life insurance cash reserves that you have. And you can borrow money from that life insurance to help with college or anything else. You take out a loan and you don't even have to pay it back, and it's tax free. So that's another thing. I mean, we're always looking at the tax end. What could we do to save some money on taxes? So yeah, that's what we do.
So if I've got, let's say I have a client who wants to purchase a home next year, and they need to save up some additional funds for down payment or closing costs. So what are some additional tips you might have for that person to be able to save some money in a year or so, some quick, easy changes in their life that can help them save?
The first thing is to have you'd be surprised how many people do not have a budget. And I'm not saying that I don't stick to my budget all the time. I mean, it's fluid. But one of the things that I have done for 10 years that a lot of people don't do that I think really helps is all my utilities are a single payment. For instance, my PG&E is $72 a month. It makes it easier to budget. If you have one of those homes that's either very hard to heat or cool, your seasonality of that utility goes way up and down. If you put it into you can call PG&E and say, I want to go on the single payment plan. And they look at your last year, and then they give you a payment. And I know every month it's $72. That's it. And at the end of the year, there's a true up. But putting things into nice figures that you can expect every month helps everyone with a budget. And it also will help you. There's some really great free software. Mint.com is one I recommend. And it will track, it is secure, so you can actually register a credit card with it and be safe. But it will track all your expenditures. And all of a sudden you go, I'm really spending $40 a week at Starbucks? And then it's up to you, because we're not going to guilt you, but you can guilt you. You can go, maybe I should only spend $20 a week at Starbucks. And so once you have that budget and you really look at it, that is going to help you find ways to save money. We're always available. If someone wants to come in and have that time with us, we look at it this way. It's karma, and we're all moms at My Financial Girlfriend, and we believe in helping people. But you'd be surprised how many wonderful clients we get because we helped someone and spent significant time with the client that never led to any money for My Financial Girlfriend, but they referred us to someone. So it's just kind of karma. I mean, we do what we're supposed to do, and it comes back to us. So we'd be happy to sit down with them.
Thank you.
Well, and just really quickly too, I'm no expert in finances, but if you want to talk food banking, come on, I'm there. But one thing I've been food banking for 10 years, and one thing that we know for a fact now at this point is food. There's two basic things. Food is a basic human right, and the other part of this is this is not an abundance, or this is not a scarcity problem. We have the abundance, we have the opportunity to feed everybody. And it's the same kind of thing with finances. I mean, we know the number one reason people are food insecure is because of finances. It's because of income. It's because of a lack of high paying jobs. It's a problem of working 2 or 3 low paying jobs and not having health care. It is everything that Christine's talking about creates the environment for someone to need assistance, to need help. And this is the last line of help. The last line. Everybody in this Zoom chat, all the businesses you represent, the services that Christine's talking about, that's all that first line, the healthcare, all of that. That's that best offense we want to have as a society, so people don't need us as a last line of defense against being food insecure. So just anecdotally and personally, we just want to lift up Christine's message and just really second that if you are ever in a place and you can take advantage of something like this, please do. It's made significant advancements in my life when I've taken little bits to focus on my finances. And this, I mean, to be realistic, this is a tool. Financial health and financial kind of awareness is really a tool in the past, historically, of a higher income bracket. And so Christine's really offering something to it's an equity piece in my mind. This is a piece of equity and something we need to be doing more throughout the next 10 years, of giving these opportunities to people that might not have had it before, to get education, to just simply know, where can I cut a corner, where can I do something a little better, a little different, and that's going to in turn position me to be in a much stronger position in the future, so I can have wealth and ownership and then be able to influence society the way that I want it to go, so that someone is in the same position I was in at some point. So just wanted to lift up the message and just really appreciate the opportunity that Christine's putting out there for our communities to be able to lift themselves up through this. I'll close it out on it's like the real idea in my mind of the American dream, of community, of people getting together, of sharing information. No one's expected to be a supercomputer and know everything. And so if we can work together and we can all share and build a community that people are going to be able to share their expertise and their knowledge, it's going to be amazing and beautiful. And I think it was just yesterday our CEO said from a New York Times study, it's 48% of Americans couldn't come up with $400 if you asked them to.
Yep.
That is insane to me. And that is, when you start talking about wealth and you start talking about systemic issues in our society, these things start becoming interconnected. And so if we can lift ourselves up as a society out of those and help lift our neighbors up, awesome. We're going to be in a much better place, all of us.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, are there any other questions? Well, gosh, Christine, if you don't have anything else to say, I just want to thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today and answer some questions. And I want to thank everyone who has joined us on this call. It is being recorded, so if you want to watch this again and get some of the advice from it, or share it with someone who you think might need the advice and hear what Christine has to say, it'll be posted on the Hearth Team Facebook page, probably by the end of today, but certainly by tomorrow. Don't forget to like the Hearth Team on Facebook and donate to the Oregon Food Bank, and contact Christine Aronson for your financial planning. I'm going to send a follow-up email to everyone with just some links so that you can do all of that, donate, like, and contact. And with that said, thanks so much. Please join us. Thank you.
Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you all. Be safe.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, that was really helpful.
Thanks.